Today, we're talking about messaging. By the end of this episode, you will know how to use your unique story and messaging to create content that connects, content that builds trust with people, and that lead to more sales. I will also share key tips on standing out in a crowded market, because if you're online, it's fucking crowded at the moment, and resources to help you create content that position you as the go-to expert in your space. Hi, I'm Gwen. I've taught hundreds of women how to build and scale their businesses online and make six figures with killer messaging and refined offer suite and strategies, of course, that sell. And today I'm talking about how to weave your messaging and your story into your content to bring in more sales. At the moment, you are creating content, but it feels flat or disconnected, and you're not getting the engagement or the result that you want. You're not sure how to share your story. And that's the thing. Like, you hesitate, and sometimes it looks a bit like oversharing. It looks a bit like too much. And sometimes it just looks like ChatGPT could have wrote that. And you also worried that your story isn't very exciting. You're thinking like maybe it's not big. It's not big enough to make an impact what I want to say. So you are at the good place if any of this resonate with you. Your story and your messaging are what create connection, okay? What is going to create also trust with your audience, and integrating them into your everyday content will 100% position you as the go-to expert and help you stand out, especially as AI-generated content becomes more and more used to create content, especially to write content, which is definitely not what we want to. Here is why weaving your story into your messaging is non-negotiable, because people buy from people they feel connected to. They don't even need to like you, but they need to feel connected to you, connected to a part of your story, a part of what you are. They need to feel this connection. The second thing here is that your story sets you apart, because AI can generate generic content, okay, but it can't replicate your lived experience or the unique way you see the world. AI doesn't know what you did yesterday, what client you saw this morning, and what discussion you had with them. AI doesn't know that. AI doesn't know that last year this happened to you and how this can relate to your clients and writing a post with this. Storytelling creates the emotion, okay? So remember that emotion sells. If you have studied a little bit sales psychology, you already know that, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to make people cry for them to buy, okay? That's not what I mean. But they need to feel some sort of emotion. So here I'm going to share with you five or 6 points on exactly how to do this, how to weave your messaging so your content is going to stand out massively from everyone else. The first thing is that you have to share your story intentionally, okay? And it's not your, how you call that, your starting story, okay? That's not like your entire story, how you started your business and all of the stuff. No, you want to identify your origin story. That's the word I was looking at. It is, you need to identify the part of your story that align with your audience challenges, but also with the post and the point you wanted to make. So let's say if right now you wanted to make a post on one of your clients' problem, and let's say that one of your clients' problem is to not have strong boundaries, okay? Instead of telling them like, here is how to put strong boundaries, something that I will write is like something maybe about myself or about a client. So if I was taking one of my example, I will say something like, 2 years ago, this happened to me, and describe the situation. And the truth behind it is that I didn't have strong boundaries, because if this happened to me right now, this is how I will handle it, because now I have this, and this. You see, AI cannot write this. It could, but the story will be wrong. So if you need to really make more sales with your content, you do need to start having more of this, because soon everyone is going to start using more and more AI to create their content. And AI is getting more and more smart, to be honest, like smarter and smarter on creating content that sounds a bit more like a human, but it still cannot know your story. And that's why this is what you want to weave into your content. You also need to learn how to connect your story to your offer, okay? Because every story that you share should tie back to your messaging and how you can help your audience, okay? So remember the example that I just took from this, I could then really keep this story in mind of myself and this client that I had before, or a time where I didn't have boundaries, and then say that this is exactly why I created this, this, I don't know, 7-day intensive on establishing stronger boundaries to have XYZ. So we want to explain why our story is connected to our offer. The third point here is I want you to show and stop telling, okay? Instead of saying like, I'm the expert, me, you want to show your expertise through your stories, through what you have lived, okay? How have you helped your client? Last week, like I was with one of my clients and she was feeling like this. And here is exactly what we did to bring her there. And some of you are going to think like, oh, but if I tell them what I did, they can do it by themselves. I can promise you that if they can do this by themselves, they don't need you, okay? They don't need you. But people need to understand what is your process, okay? And this is how you show and don't tell. And you weave your story and your method and how you do things into your content. And this is what is going to make people buy more from you. You also have to look at being consistent, yeah? Like weaving your story into your content is something that you have to be consistent with, not just like once a week, okay? I would say if you're not seeing like the result you want from your content at the moment, maybe half of it needs to be around your story, into your caption, into your emails, into your live video. Take example from what you are doing yourself. You see, even myself, when I explain something, I take example and give you stories. Aim for at least a third of your content, okay? To have stories in some sort of them, and not just information, okay? Because people don't care about information. They care about your opinion, your take on things, and your story and your experience. Now, something that might be a little bit opposite of what you have heard me saying is leverage AI, okay? But I will say leverage then what AI can't leverage, okay? So you want to share your personal experiences that AI can't replicate. What you have learned yesterday, what you have learned like any moment in the past, how you overcame a recent challenge. This is 100% like the work that needs to be done, okay? If you look at my feed, you will see content about how I stopped cold turkey drugs a couple of decades ago after being completely high for over a year. Couldn't even recognize my face. That this was exactly linked on how I make decisions in my business. It's also exactly linked of how I quit my job on one day. And I explain this. I explain my story and how I function. Okay, why that? Because I know I'm going to also attract people that are like me. Yeah. And I do want to attract people that are like me or that want to be this way. And this is very important because the way that you function, the way that you work is not going to be the same way as everyone else. And the people that are going to have the best result with you are the people that want the same thing as you. They want to work the same way. And there is not one way to get to a goal. And this is why we want to make sure that we are attracting people that want to do it this way, the same way that we are doing it. Now, if you are ready to use your story and your messaging to create content that connects, okay, content that actually makes you sell, like you create one piece of content and that makes you sell, my in-demand program will show you how to do it step by step. It's designed to help you master your content strategy, okay, from storytelling to positioning your offer in a way that resonates with your audience. I even explain to you how to audit your offer, so it is a no-brainer for your audience. If you want a sneak peek inside In-Demand, okay, you can also just sign up to take my money messaging masterclass because this one is part of In-Demand. It's only $22 and you can credit this $22 towards In-Demand if you want to upgrade after. You will, inside the masterclass, you will see it's a 90-minute masterclass where you have a breakdown of what makes great messaging, how to shift your content for people to buy from you right away, not in 3 months. Plus, you get access to the TMM workbook to create your offer messaging. And I show you exactly how to incorporate this messaging into your sales page, into your content with very specific example. This masterclass alone is going to change the way you write everything, and you will finally double your sales number just because of your words. You can DM me in demand or TMM, or just find the links underneath where you are listening to this. Thank you for listening to today's episode on how to weave your messaging and your story in your content to bring in more sales. If you found this helpful, subscribe and leave a review so more women like you can find me and grow their businesses.